I welcome you all for this 12th day of our workshop, which is running for last 12 days. We have many of sessions on different topics which are related to accounting and entrepreneurship. Students were being introduced with the analytical skills, how they can apply analytics towards accounting. Many eminent speakers have taken active participation in enlightening our students about various topics related to entrepreneurship, accounting, and other business related issues that are very much practical and which are very much useful also for enhancing the skills of our students if they have to decide in future about they have to start up or they have to start with their any business or any other activity. So I request Pallavi ma'am to start today's session, which is being taken over by our esteemed Renuka ma'am. So Pallavi ma'am, please, you can start the session.
Thank you so much, Swaricha ma'am, for giving this crisp introduction to our session. The today's session we named as Basic Skills and Analysis we require to work upon the Excel. And Excel, I think everyone knows that Excel is an important tool. Whenever you are entering into an organization, Excel is a very useful tool. So our today's esteemed guest is Dr. Renuka Bakshi. Dr. Bakshi is PhD in Management and exceptionally a seasoned and knowledgeable accounting and finance academician with a stellar teaching and academic service record. She is presently working as an associate professor in the area of finance in Amity College of Commerce and Finance, Amity University. She joined the Amity University in the year 2010. So she completed her PhD from the Singhania University, and she has more than 20 years of academic experience. She has more than 25 research papers in various international journals. She has attended many workshops, FDPs, seminars, conferences, and presented many papers at the conferences of repute. She has also taken a lot of guest lectures and webinars, workshops. She has been organizing seminar and international conference at Amity University in collaboration with foreign universities and various corporate houses. She has also published a known book on the financial frauds, which talk about learnings for the different stakeholders of the organization. She has received acknowledgement award for publishing chapters in India's longest books. She has also contributed chapters in many books also. So Dr. Bakshi, welcome to the today's session and grace this platform with your knowledge. And I would request you to please take over the session from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Pallavi, for giving me a very delightful introduction. Our today's session is specifically based on recent trends in accounting. I'm sharing my slide. Is it visible?
It is visible, ma'am. Renuka ma'am, you are muted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The today's session is specifically based on recent development in accounting. Specifically, Dr. Swaricha had told that we are in the path of taking the workshop, specifically enhancing and inculcating the skills related to the analytics in accounting as well as in entrepreneurial skills. The most important thing in regard of it that the vital part in accounting is the recent developments which had been happening. If the students belong to commerce and finance, they are not aware about the present scenario of market, industry, digitalization, then they are not capable to work for the economy. And it is significant topic for all the commerce and finance students. So our topic recent developments in accounting is specifically based on different types of accounts, different modes of accounting, which are specifically running in that economy, and due to the pandemic, due to abnormal circumstances, everyone has to work on it. Before going to the start of the recent trends, I want to tell you something about the accounting. Whenever we are talking about the accounting, this word, this term, accounting is not a new term in the economy, in the financial market. Today, we are talking about the double entry system. All of us are very well aware there are two sides of the coin. In the same way, there are two sides of the accounts. It is debit and the credit. And the most important thing, which starts accounting, it means recording all these transactions to keep the track. And for this purpose, bookkeeping is most important. This double entry accounting system, it has been started in India specifically with the help of companies. But whenever we are starting about this trend, it has been started in 1458 by Benedict. And this tracing of transactions in the bookkeeping system has been started. It means it was a period whenever the revolution in the accounting has been started. Whenever we are talking about the accounting, as the civilizations had been started, either we are talking about Roman empires, we are talking about Egypt, we are talking about different civilization. All these civilization, either we are talking about Indus civilization, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, all these civilizations were using this accounting. The purposes may be different, but the most common attribute is that for spending the money on arms, ammunition for the purpose of defense, to find out the drinking water, to find out the space which is kept reserved specifically for the purpose of army. It means either we are talking about very ancient civilization, but the accounting term was not new. It had been started either whenever we are talking about our previous civilization, everything was available on the Tamrapatra. In all these evidence, our department, our archaeological department had found various evidences. There was a data which had been kept in a kind of language which was not readable up till now, but they were keeping the records either by keeping the lines or by drawing something. These were keeping the records. So keeping the record either of money or units of or inventory or the people or the camp or land which had been used for the purpose of agriculture or for the purpose of campaigning. So what are all these things? These are the parts of accounting. And now whenever we are talking about the bookkeeping, we are talking about starting the bookkeeping with the original book of account. It is journal entry, ledger, trial balance. Then we come to the summary, or it will be available in the form of balance sheet. This kind of methodology to keep the accounting had been started by the Luca Bartolomus Basilio, and the way which had been created, it had been started then and till now. This is the same scenario in which the people are maintaining the accounting or keeping the track on various units. Either the formatting may be changed, but the way of keeping the record, the reason of keeping the record, it had been increased from the date when it had been started and up till now. In 1854, the professional organization for the accountants had been started. Now, in present scenario, we know them with the various names. The first and the prominent name is chartered accountant. Either we are talking professional organization for providing the professional degree, just like a CA, just like CFA or ABA. That are different courses now which are available with the accountancy, and the list is so long. But the trend had been started in 1854, and first it was established in the Scotland. This was the starting of the professional organization. This was the information related to the whole world and the different civilization. But whenever we are talking about India, whenever we are talking about ancient India, we are talking about traditional type of accounting, we are talking about different kind of knowledge which had been specifically given in our Vedas. There are 4 Vedas, we are very well aware. And the Rig Veda is a way which is giving the description up till now from that era related to various transactions, various ways of spending the daily usage, various ways of earning income, the different trends, different types of the trades, way of keeping the inventory, use of inventory, different types of the transactions. It means it was divided into various parts. On other hand, we can say we were talking about the businesses. Either we are talking about different terms which have been used. Kriya, Vanage, Shulka. Kriya means any kind of the transaction in which the money has been purchased or sold. Kriya. It means money has been sold for the purpose of profit. Vanage means we are talking about the traders. Whenever they were selling the goods to the people, either these goods belong to their daily use, these goods belong to their luxurious item. We are talking about the Vepar. We are talking about the trade. Traders belong to trade. So the name was given Vanage. Shulka. Shulka means the 2 types of the price, the two types of the terms which can be bifurcated. Number 1, the prices which are charged for selling the goods for the purpose of profit maximization. And second thing is that tax has been paid on a specific goods which had been sold at that time. All these kinds of the terms are given in the Rig Veda. It means whenever we are talking about the India, the usage of the term accounts or accounting, it had been started with the starting of civilization in the India. On the second hand, whenever we are talking about Kautilya's Arthashastra, specifically it had been defined in it that there are skillful people called accountants which were keeping the record of all the trades, which were keeping the record in the form of registers, and every time these registers were examined by the skillful people, and if for the sake of not giving the taxes or kind of lagan, then which kind of the punishment had been given to them, or the people were unable to repay the loan, which kind of the imposition they had to suffer. So it was a kind of record which was kept for different transactions. And whenever we are talking about ancient India, either we are talking about the Britishers, the person called Munshi, he was keeping all the records in the same way we are very well aware. Either these are the form of journal entry, which are based on the double entry system, debit and credit. After it, entries are going to be recorded in the ledger. Whenever the accountancy is being maintained with the help of manual accounting, This is a cycle which is to be covered. Whenever the accounting is being created with the help of digital technology, there are few steps which are not recorded. But whenever we are studying the accountancy, this is the accounting cycle which is being followed. So first, I told you this is a journal entry which compiles two types of the account. One will be debit and other side will always be credit. Debit and credit are just like the two sides of coin. If one side of coin is not given, or the coin which is having the head on both sides, it is called by that the coin is biased. Or you can say it Hindi khota sikka, which cannot run. In the same way, the accounting is based on two-sided coin, two-sided approach, which is debit and credit. After this process, there are different kinds of the ledgers which are being prepared under the accountants. These ledgers are called by the subsidiary books or the day books. These may be the special books or the books which are prepared in the way of journalization. Whenever the companies are going to purchase, sale, purchase return, sales return, all these kinds of the entries are being collected in the ledger. In other words, ledger account is created for the purpose of bifurcation, that how much units have been sold, how much units have been purchased, and what is the price of it. It means it is a kind of classification which will be made after recording the entries. After it, either the company has created the ledger for the purpose of classification, but the company is interested to know that what is the amount of income and what is the amount of expenditure. Hence, the summary is prepared after the classification. This is called by the trial balance. And what is the actual situation of the company? It is being prepared with the help of summary. With the help of summary, if there are kind of extraordinary journal entry or improper, for example, we can say these are related to the proposed dividend or provision for depreciation, accumulated depreciation, amortization of the goodwill, then adjusting journal entries are being made. After that, after making few adjustments, the adjusted trial balance will be created to know now what is the summary of whole financial year. The financial year will start from 1st April to 31st March, but now the MNCs or different companies from different corner of the world are going to enter in the India. So our ICAI and ASB has given a privilege that financial year may also get started with 1st January to 31st December. If there is a kind of mistake, kind of any thing which has been or a fact which has been omitted, then there will be a reversible entry which will be made. On the basis of it, when the whole summary is created, the closing account or the financial statement is created. This is called by the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet according to the traditional accounting. But whenever we are talking about the present scenario, the financial statement means there will be a 5 documents. It will be number 1, profit and loss account, number 2, balance sheet, number 3, cash flow statement, number 4, statement of changes in owner's equity, and then explanatory notes. This is the process which will be called by preparation of the financial statement. And this financial statement, which will be used by two parties, number 1, internal stakeholder, and number 2, external stakeholders. Internal stakeholder will use this financial statement for the purpose of improvement, for the purpose of eradicating the shortcoming which had happened in the financial year. and outside stakeholders, or you can say external stakeholders, they will use these financial statements for taking vital decisions for the growth and survival of the company. These may be related to the investment or by the government agency, that the company has paid the taxes on the fair basis or not, the debtors or creditors which will provide the goods or which will specifically get the goods from the company and the payment will be made. Everything will be checked by the external stakeholder. What is the policy of company in regard of corporate social responsibility? All these kinds of the transactions are being revealed in the financial statement. Our next topic is traditional accounting, or you can say different phases of accounting. Whenever you will give a look to the picture, this picture will give an idea. In the starting of transaction in the economy, there was a barter system. It means people may purchase the goods with the exchange of goods. Number two, after the barter system, there was a gold exchange. It means gold was the exchangeable at that time, and the people were getting something in exchange of the gold. After it, gold had been replaced with the metal because gold is abundant metal which is not available to everyone. And then paper money has substituted the metal coins. Now we are talking about cards, debit card, credit card, Visa card. Then electronic money, we are sorted with different kinds of the portal which are available with the different payment system, either Paytm, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, different portals which are available, or you can say a virtual platform for transfer the money from one party to another. After it, now in present scenario, we are also dealing in the cryptocurrencies which are available at the virtual platform, and there will be an exchange, or you can say buy and sell of all these crypto. And in reality, we are not getting anything. It is a kind of information which is being delivered on the portal. So whenever we are talking about the accounting, in the same way, it has been progressed in different phases. Number one, we are talking about the early accounting. Early accounting specifically is divided into two parts. Just like today's accounting, whenever we are doing it manual, it is having the debit and credit. In the same way, whenever we are talking about early accounting, it was divided only on a two golden rules. There are three golden rules of the accountancy. Number one, personal account, real account, and the nominal account. All the students having the commerce and finance background from the 11th class, when they start the commerce, they are very well aware with the starting of accountancy that there are three types of accounts, and whole accountancy is based on the golden rule of these three accounts. Whenever we are talking about the early accounting, in early accounting, the whole accountancy was based only on two types of account. Number one, personal. Number two, impersonal. Personal means it is related to name. The name may be concerned to company, association, or specific person. And whenever we are talking about impersonal, these may be the tangible or intangible, or you can say real as well as nominal. After it, the double entry system which had been started, debit and credit, is here. In the early accounted, either we are talking about recording of the transaction, but whenever we are talking about double entry, all of us are very well aware, debit and credit, these are two states. And whole accounting system was based on accrual accounting. Only cash is not required, but it is based on the credit system also. After it, industrial revolution accounting. We are talking about different types of the accounting. Either we are talking about cost accounting, corporate accounting, management accounting, and the accounting is created or maintained with the help of different kinds of the tool. Either we are talking about Tally, we are talking about Zoho, Brand, Quick. There are different kinds of the accounting. The revolution in industry had been started. And now, whenever we are talking about the professional accounting, there are different types of the accounting stream which are being handled by few specific professionals. These specific professionals may be CA, these specific professionals may belong to ICWA, or these may be related to the cost accounting, or you can say different kinds of the frame. The people having the finance background in the MBA also, these are the part of the professional accounting, and they are handling different parts of the accounting. Either they are related to the auditing, or you can say a forensic accounting. You are talking about the different kinds of accounting related to HR accounting, inflation accounting, environment accounting. Now the trend of the accounting is totally changed. After it, whenever we go to the modern accounting, now the modern concept of accounting is totally changed. Modern accounting is based on 5 types of accounting. It is human resource accounting, environment accounting, carbon accounting, forensic accounting, social accounting. We will study all these accounting by and by, but the most important thing is that each and every accounting is using a specific type of the attributes, and under these attributes there is a special requirement of these kinds of the accounting, and there is a distinct or extraordinary way to record the expenses, to record the revenue, or the usage of the specific goods or the commodity. So first of all, we will start with the human resource accounting. Whenever we are talking about the human resource, okay, whenever we talk about the human resource, what does come into your mind? Human resource means, any one of you, if you are interested to respond, can you respond me? What is HR accounting? Okay, HR. Whenever the term human resource is used, it means specifically talking about all the employees of the organization or specific department of the organization which is keeping record of all the employees of the company without bifurcating they belong to which level of management. There are 3 levels of management. These are high level, middle level, and lower level. This accounting, this human resource will include different types of the concept. Number one, whenever the employees are here, the company takes various steps to inculcate the skills if these skills doesn't have their employees, and if the company's employees have the skill, the company will groom their skills either by providing them FTP, by providing them specific workshops, seminars, or company will provide the information to the stakeholders. So companies, external stakeholder may also get an idea that company is taking a lot of steps for enhancing the skills of HR, or HR accounting is related to keep the human asset. It means each and every organization or a company must deal each and every human resource as an asset of the company. And whenever company is taking human resource as an asset of the company, it means the company is involved in spending the money on them, either providing them a good or handsome salary, providing them a very good working environment, or the company is spending a lot of money in enhancing their skill, grooming their personality, And most important thing is that company is turning them in a most valuable asset for their organization. So what are the expenses incurred by the company for purpose of human resource? Company is providing them benefit, company is providing them income, bonus, HR, spending lot of money on them for keeping them sustained in that organization. So it is most important thing, what is company doing? For all these kinds of the exercise, for all these kinds of the activities, company has to keep the record. So human resource accounting is related to expenditure which has been incurred on the human resource of the company, and this is the record which is to be maintained. If the record is being maintained, then the company will come to know that if the money has been spent by them, what will be the revenue in turn which they will get, because the company is hiring the person, and whenever the company is hiring, it is obviously for any department, marketing department, finance department, accountancy department, if the persons are skillful, they are aware with the digital technology, then company doesn't need to hire many people, because less proportionate of the skillful employee may complete the defined task within a very shortest period of time, because they are very well aware about the digital technology. It is human resources accounting. So how much part of the expenses have been incurred by the company on its human resource, and what is the revenue it is getting by spending on them, it is called by the human resource accounting. Second type of accounting, it is most important in the present scenario, it is environment accounting. Okay, whenever we are talking about environment, do you have an idea what is an environment? If we have to define the environment, any one of you can tell me what is an environment if we have to define the environment? Any one of you? If you are getting the answer, you can write down in a chat box also. What is an environment? Okay, I may tell you. Environment means surrounding. Environment means ambience, which is being provided by the organization, or you can say environment of country, environment related to the geographical region, or the natural resources which are available in the country. It is most important thing whenever we are talking about the environment. Environment comprises the natural resources. It will include all the cost, all the expenses which are incurred by the company to sustain the natural resources. The natural resources means all the flora, fauna, and the proportionate of gases which are very good for the health, which are essential for the health of all the living beings. Living beings will also include the natural resources. It means emission of gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. If it is increasing, then what does it mean? It is going to destroy the environment of the country. It is not the country, because whenever this kind of the pollutants will increase, it will destroy the world. When the world will be destroyed, there will be no industry, no people, there will be barren land, and whole earth will turn into very, very warm planet. So it is most important for each and every company that company may keep an eye on the environment. So this trend of environmental accounting has been started. Specifically, it had been started in the developed countries, just like USA, USSR. There are different European countries were also following it, but now in these days this trend has been started in India also. Each and every company or the organization has to spend the money, or the company has to take steps to stop all the pollutants which are going to be emitted from the company, and these are very harmful for the sake of people, for the sake of living being. Either these are birds, these are animals, natural resources, anything. The pollutants must not be harmful. If these are, then the company has to stop. The company has to stop. The company has to incur the expenses to specifically use those kinds of the instrument, those kinds of the machines which must stop using these kinds of the product or the material which turns into the finished goods and emits lots of pollutant. This kind of the accounting is called by the green accounting, or you can say environmental accounting. Whenever we are talking about the trend of our country, the most important thing is that these all activities are the part of corporate social responsibility. And for this environmental accounting, the company has to take a step to reduce all these negative environmental impact. Whenever we are talking about negative environmental impact, yes, anyone wants to tell me? If you know the answer, either raise your hand or write down in the chat box. Negative environmental impact. Any one of you? Okay. Negative environmental impact means, number one, increase global warming, increase in specifically temperature. Next, less rain. Number four, destroy of natural resources. Whenever we are taking the data, lots of species of animals or birds are going to be extinct. This is negative environmental impact. The people or the company, big organization, these are going to involve themselves in the deforestation for enhancing the industrial development, for the purpose of residential area. The long apartments are going to be built by the company. So what is that? This is negative environmental impact. It means, you can say, a forest of human beings are going to be created. Whenever this kind of the forest will be created, then in the less proportionate natural resources are going to be planted. It means it is harassment of the environment. For this purpose, that each and every company has to spend the expenditure, has to incur the cost, and then it has to check out if the dangerous or harmful pollutants are going to be liberated by any way, water, land, air. Then what is its cost? Its cost in form of their own venture, its cost in form of society, and whenever they are changing the trend or the company is incurring the expenses, then what will be the revenue for it? It means, for example, company is using the fuel or for the electricity. Instead of electricity, company may use the solar power plant. So instead of coal, company may use different kinds of the sources of energy. Or if company is using that energy, what are the different way to reduce different pollutants? After it, there one must be, third point is new forms of performance appraisal. It means evaluation of the company, evaluation of the employees of the company, evaluation of the organization from the point of view of the stakeholders, internally as well as externally. Company is complying with social responsibility. Company is taking few steps to protect the natural resources or a natural habitat. The company, if the company is taking these steps, then what is the effect of the society? Company is getting this benefit in the same manner. So it is mandatory step under the corporate social responsibility for all the listed companies now. Next step, it helps to know whether corporation has been discharging its responsibility or not. For example, whenever we are talking a step by the government, our government has taken very rigorous steps. Lots of mafias related to sand were there near the Yamuna River. The government is taking a very crucial and judicious step so that this sand may be protected, because if this sand has been taken by them, then it means the flow of river cannot be controlled. In the same way, few of the industries are going to emit their water pollution, their chemical into various rivers. Now government is taking steps, and now not only the government, organization has to take the step so that they will use a different kind of the material, or the company has to take different kinds of the machinery or kind of accessories which may reduce the components of these hazardous chemicals. Hence, it is a responsibility of each and every company. Number one, cleaning up pollution. It is mandatory. Either the pollutants may relate to land, water, air, or any other part, but it is a responsibility of the company. It is a mandatory responsibility. Second most important thing is that if company is taking all these kinds of the step for saving the environment, then the company's investor must know the current step as well as the future policy of the company, so that which measures will be taken or are taken by the management for the purpose of saving the environment. And most important thing is that operating in a way that damage doesn't occur. It means most important thing is that company has to increase the step or a revolution towards afforestation. The company has to plant more and more trees so that the organization may capable to provide natural habitat to all the flora, fauna, and different kinds of the living beings. Whenever we are talking about the steps of environmental accounting, you will be shocked to know that this kind of the accounting had been started first by the Switzerland. The environment accounting has been kept first by the Switzerland. And what happened in that environment economy, we are very well aware all the companies are involved in the production of things. And what is the reason of the production? The reason of the production is the consumption, because the demand is there. People are here, they are demanding. If there will be a demand, there will be a consumption. For the purpose of consumption, the company may produce the same thing because they are getting the profit. But the most important thing is that if the company is taking the raw material as an input, raw material may be any form, either this is a raw material which will be converted into finished product, or the raw material in the form of fuel which will be used by the company, then the company may produce for the purpose of consumption or to achieve the target of the demand. But every time the companies are liberating the waste, either in the air or in the soil or in the water. It means the company has to check 4 things. Every time this accounting is focusing or specialization will be given on the drive or of 4 important points. Number 1, what is the total flow of the money which has been incurred by the company and the revenue which has been generated by the company. Number 2, as a raw material, what is given, and as a output, what a company is getting, which is being offered free to the society. Because if the company is liberating any kind of the pollutants, it is being served to the society, and the society has to pay lot of cost for it, because all these kinds of waste are giving a very hazardous effect, very harmful effect to the society. For example, either we are talking about the Yamuna River. Lots of the companies are emitting their pollutants in the Yamuna water. Then what does it mean? Few of the people, few of the farmers are going to use this water for the purpose of plantation. Whatever the flora and fauna which we are using, we are getting from the water. Either these are the aquatic animals or the plantation which we are getting, it is containing a very hazardous chemical. And these are giving different kinds of the diseases among the society. Either these are related to the skin, who are using this water as a plantation. Number two, or we are talking about the human being, then there are different kinds of the liver problem, intestine problem, breathing problem. And whenever we are talking and aquatic animals, yeah, lots of aquatic species are going to be extinct due to this pollutants. And whenever this pollutants relate to, again, air, there is no geographical boundary there. There is no geographical boundary. Everyone is getting a carbon monoxide or various poisonous gases while inhaling. It means giving an invitation again to different problems or diseases related to the breathing, either bronchitis, either problem related to the lungs, problem related to the heart, and obviously it will affect our nervous system. Third, soil. We are talking about the land. Lots of garbage is lying hither and there. It will enhance the mosquitoes, different kinds of bacteria or viruses, or if these pollutants comprises different metals, just like different areas in Delhi, different areas of different country, there is a concentration of lots of metals by the scrap dealers, then which is giving emission of harmful rays, and it may causes cancer. It means what is given by the organization to the society for fulfilling the demands. So assets from the natural resources. What are the assets which we are getting from the natural resources in the form of food, in the form of housing, in the form of rain, even in the form of life of all the people, either these are human beings or these are aquatic animals or these are animals or marine or land animals or birds, you can say. And what is that ecosystem? Because ecosystem is kind of a vicious circle. So if there will be a poison which will be liberated by them, they will get in turn. It will always repeat as a vicious circle, and it is most important that environment accounting must be treated as an environmental asset accounting, so that the company may take it as a cost as well as a revenue. Company will create an income and expenditure account related to the environment which it is giving to the society. The next forbidden term, it is carbon accounting. For your kind information, this carbon accounting, it is a type of specific type of the accounting or extraordinary type of the accounting which has been established under the Kyoto Protocol 1997. For your information, this is a kind of agreement, this is a kind of assignment which has been signed by the 114 countries, and this is related to the proportionate of the carbon gases emission which is being liberated by the different countries. Either whenever we are going to define the countries, these countries may comprises industry, residence, natural resources, different kinds of the life, either related to animals, related to flora, related to fauna, and it means what is the total quantum of the carbon which has been emitted. So greenhouse gases, it is a most important term. From the creation of either these are process, which is being processed by the industry, or the product produced by the company or manufactured by the company, or transformation has been taken, which is equivalent to it. each and every country has a carbon footprint. And most important thing is that this carbon proportionate emission is going to be calculated, is going to be checked in the form of reading, and this form of reading which expresses the proportionate of carbon emission, it is called by carbon footprint. It is the most important term in the carbon accounting, and United Nations had started offering this carbon footprint. It means it is a kind of calculator which will give the reading that is a proportionate which has been liberated by this organization, this industry. And most important thing is that whenever this kind of the reading is being provided, there is a kind of different steps which has been chased, which has been followed by the organization to stop excess amount of the carbon. It means there must be judicious use of each and every natural resources or electricity or different types of the sources which are liberating the pollutants. Then carbon accounting will be successful. In another words, carbon accounting means to take the record of the proportionate of carbon emission. Number two, to take the steps to stop this proportionate. Number three, to record all the transactions which are being recorded by the company and expenditure which has been incurred by the company. After incurring all these expenditure, the company's main motto is to earn the profit. So for the purpose of profit maximization, if company is doing this, company needs a revenue also. Either this is the social service, but the most important thing is that it is necessity for the sake of their life also. So what is the total expenditure spent by the company, and for this expenditure, what will be the revenue of the company? This will be the carbon accounting. It will go in three phases. There are three kinds of the approaches which have been created. Number one, process-based approach. Number two, hybrid model. Number three, input-output analysis. And most important thing is that whenever we are talking about the process, it is very simple thing. Very simple thing. Process means any raw material which has been taken and it has been converted for the purpose of serving to the consumer for earning the profit. And then whenever we are earning the profit, the organization is earning the profit, then organization will also giving few things, giving few harmful effects to society, which may leave adverse effect on the country as well as at the global level. So for this purpose, there must be analysis at the global level. Number two. Number three, there must be different kinds of the actions which must be written in a hierarchy of preference. And number three, most important thing is that the audit must be done, because there is a kind of machine or a meter which will record the total emission of the carbon in a specific organization, specific industry, specific country. Then after it, which steps have been taken by the country to reduce all this emission? Which steps have been taken by the company to save the life of its own employee, to save the life of the society? And if the company is claiming that the company has spent the amount, then it must be checked. It must be audited every month or fortnightly or weekly, and there must be a verification directly and indirectly in both ways. And most important thing is that what is the scenario of the previous week, what is the scenario of 4 weeks before it, there must be a kind of screen. This is called by the dashboard. So what was the scenario of the company within one financial year, it can be easily judged with this dashboard data. It must be freely available on the dashboard of the company. Now, the most important thing, comes in mind, what is the significance of carbon accounting? whenever we are talking about stopping this carbon, because these are poisonous gases. I'm not talking only about the carbon, all the poisonous gases which are giving a harmful effect to the society. So most important thing is that whenever the footprints have been calculated, steps have been taken, it means company is making itself eco-friendly. Business is eco-friendly. Obviously, whenever this thing or information will be given to the stakeholder, will be given to the society, either by publicizing the information in a magazine, through blog, or through social website or a website of the company, then company's credibility may enhance. So whenever we are talking about the corporate carbon accounting, there are three most important terms which are part of it. Number one, carbon credit. Number two, carbon trade and exchange. Number three, carbon tax. These are most important three terms which are going to be used. Whenever we are talking about carbon credit means the steps which are taken by the company to reduce the proportionate of the carbon, not only in the company, but in society, then each and every organization, each and every company will get the carbon credits, or company can purchase this credit from another entity also. And most important thing is that what is the form of carbon pricing? Whenever company is using that kind of the raw material which is being creating the pollution in the society, then company has to pay the prices on these prices. There must be a kind of taxes or a duty which a company has to pay, so that the company may be compelled, number one, to reduce the proportionate of the company's carbon level for the sake of competition. There must be rivalry, and on the other hand, company's carbon credit will increase, which will give a positive worthiness to the company, and company may capable to convey this message to both society, that company is thinking not only for the purpose of its profit maximization, company is thinking about the society also. Now the question comes in mind, whenever we are talking about carbon footprint, we are talking about which kind of the software or the app which will be used for measuring this carbon which will be emitted by the organization. So there are two types of the things. Commonly now there are different types of the meter, different types of the softwares are being used. So most important is this Cloverly. Cloverly is a kind of platform, virtual platform, which will specifically offer a sustainability or a proportionate of API, application programming interface, which calculates the proportionate of carbon on the basis of real-time data in the specific time period on that day. What is the proportionate, it will tell. And second most important thing is that for example, we are talking this Cloverly. This is being used by different countries. Whenever the flights are going to take off, flights are going to land, there are different vehicles. Either we are talking about automobile or a four-wheelers. Then what is the proportionate of the carbon which has been emitted by them? This is a kind of application program interface which will give this information specifically on the basis of the real-time data. Second thing, it is a Verdium lab, which is specifically natural chemical market, capital market. And this lab is based on blockchain platform. And there is a kind of startup, the name of the startup is EcoSmart, and this is a kind of protocol which enables the company so that they may keep all their activities very transparent, and which is giving, this is a kind of company which is giving a solution to all the companies to reduce the level of carbon. So it is a lab, it is a laboratory. What kind of the judicial steps will be taken by the company, and what will be the total expenditure which will be spent by the company, and whenever the company is using these judicial steps, what will be the quantum of revenue for it. So which kind of the products which will be served and which kind of the services it will be offered. So it will be informed by the EcoSmart protocol, and this is a kind of startup. And there are different kinds of the software which will be used specifically for measuring and offsetting the carbon pointers. These are used at the global level. We are talking about the electricity map. Again, it is based on the same kind of the platform. I have told you, application programming interface. Again and again, I'm telling you, application programming interface platform, which will calculate the proportionate of the carbon footprint of electricity consumption. And this is an electricity map. Now, this is the electricity map, which is accessible to take the data related to the proportionate of the carbon which is being emitted and total breakdown in the specifically 200 countries. Why is it taking the data? Most important thing is that it is based on the cloud computing. So it's the storage of data and speed is very wide, and it is going to give the information for all the kinds of the vehicles. Either these are based on thermostats, either we are talking about AC, we are talking about refrigerator, or different kinds of the machines which are being used in the scientific research center, or different kinds of the industries which are based on heating or cooling application. So it will give the information what is the total proportionate, and it will save the data. And second most important thing is that whenever we are coming to the next point of these kinds of the software, there are different kinds of the national and sub-national government organization which are using these software and specifically strictly following the regulation. There is one more startup. This is called by Clarify. This Clarify, it is a Canadian startup, and again, please remember one most important thing. Whenever these kinds of the software which I'm telling to you, these all are based on the cloud technology and the API, because what is the real-time data, it will be informed by them, and the communication will be given to or interaction will be made among the startup people who are telling the information that what is the real-time carbon emission proportionate, and industry expert, so that they may get an idea what is the reporting system. Because whenever we are going to scenario of companies based on manufacturing of sugar, oil, or you can say gas, these are liberating, or textile, these are liberating a very excess amount of the pollutants. So what is the total component, what is the total momentum of carbon emission, and most important thing is that at what time it was that proportionate. This is a real-time data. It is being provided because it is based on two types of technology. Number one, it was based on cloud system, and number two, it was based on the API platform. And on the basis of it, the reports are being prepared. Reports will compile the cost and the revenue, and on the basis of it, company will check number one, social cost, number two, the profit. And there are different compliances which a company has to comply. Number one, it is a greenhouse gases. Number two, national pollutant release inventory. Number three, multi-sector air pollutant regulations and methane reduction requirement. Now these are becoming mandatory globally. Any question up till now? Okay. And whenever we are talking about the carbon credit, one carbon credit is equal to 1 ton of the carbon dioxide expelled in the atmosphere. It is equal to the 1 credit. And most important thing is that the Kyoto Protocol has been signed by 141 nations, and you will be glad to know that this protocol is also signed by India. This is signed by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And most important thing is that this carbon credits are certificates which is given for the participation in reducing the emission of proportionate of the carbon. And The developed nation, either we are talking about the USA, we are talking about European countries, either we are talking about different European countries, Italy, Germany, France. These are taking GHG, greenhouse gases reduction project activity, in which they are taking lot of steps for lowering down the proportionate of it. And most important thing is that, and the target is going to be completed. And whenever we are talking about the international level carbon credit market, whenever the level of the carbon emission will reduce, most important thing is that it will not reduce the carbon, it will levy a positive effect on whole planet. Because on the one side we are studying the ozone layer is getting a hole, and this is a black hole, and it is going to increase by and by. And second, global warming is increasing. Third is most important thing is that when the level of pollution will increase, obviously it will levy adverse effect not only on the living being but also on the non-living being also. And may be possible the earth may become so hotter, because whenever this kind of the thing will happen, the heat will increase, and when it will increase, the whole land will turn into a volcano. So it means to reduce the level of carbon, it is essential not for the government, not only for the organization, not only for the industry, but also for each and every person of the society. It is a responsibility of everyone. And whenever we are talking as in India, there is a accounting standard which has been created. It is called by the accounting standard 26. Whenever we are talking about intangible asset, can you tell me what is intangible asset? Any one of you can give me the example of intangible asset? Okay, I may tell you. Intangible assets means we are studying goodwill, studying depreciation as a liability. We are talking about patent. We are talking about various preliminary expenses. All these are intangible assets. In the same way, whenever we are using that kind of this software or a platform which are virtual, either these are carbon emission reduction, this is also an intangible asset. In the same way, whenever we are talking about the valuation of the inventory, and in the same way it will be valued. And most important thing is that which kind of the activities will be involved in it as an expenses. These will be cost of research, cost of development, cost of project design documents, fees of registering, and most important thing is that what are the fees which have been taken for the purpose of climate change, and then it will be treated as an intangible asset. And whatever the income which has been generated with this kind of the project which has been launched, then the revenue recognition is taken, CRE is now as an inventory. It is most important part of the accounting which has been started as a carbon accounting in India. Now, the next part of the accounting, and I think lots of students are very well aware about it, forensic accounting. Forensic accounting means taking a record, auditing, investigation skills to know these scams. Lots of scams are going to be happen in the world, just like at the global level. Either we are talking about scam of Panama Papers, WorldCom, Enron, talking about Nirav Modi case, talking about in India, Harshad, that is Satyam case, that is Sahara case, we are talking about Kingfisher's case. It means lots of world level, not in our country, but at the global level, the frauds or the scams are going to be happen. So most important thing is that few scams are those scams which are going to harm the whole society, which are giving adverse effect on the whole economy. And few scams are those which are going to harm only the stakeholders, internal stakeholders as well as external stakeholders. Obviously, these are going to affect the economy either in indirect manner, but these are going to affect. So in the same way, the forensic accounting is going to be bifurcated into two parts. Number one, litigation support, and number two, investigation. So whenever we are talking about the economic issues, we are talking about harm to the economy of the country. For example, the case of the Punjab National Bank. Punjab National Bank is not related only to one unit, or lots of society people or lots of people belong to the bank. It means the customer are specifically spread in whole country or maybe outside the country. Whenever any kind of a scam is going to happen in the banking, it means what? It is a kind of scam which is going to happen in country. And most important thing is that it is not related only to one company, one organization, it is related to the society. Second most important thing is that, second part is that investigation must happen. Either these are the criminal matters because the employees of the company, employees of the institute or organization are involved in it, just like a Punjab National Bank case, IL&FS case, or you can say a Kingfisher case, or you can say fraud of the security. Again, in the case of Sahara, there was a fraud of the case. We are talking about Sharda Chit Fund, we are talking about Enron, we are talking about WorldCom. Lots of cases are here. It means there are civil matters for hiding the scams, for hiding the specific transaction, which are giving a clear picture to the company. So these all kinds of the facts are being hidden. This kind of the hidden facts are being revolved with the help of forensic accounting. So forensic accounting is the most important accounting which is related to the audit skill. Whenever we are talking the shape of forensic accounting in India, it has been started specifically in India 2005. The CA Mayur Joshi established a forensic center of studies, and in it different kinds of the statements are being read and analytical skills are being used to detect the fraud. The skills were related to the different kinds of the analysis. It may relate to ratio analysis, it may relate to horizontal analysis, vertical analysis. There are different kinds of the syndrome which may give an idea that the frauds are going to happen. So there are different kinds of the tactics or the skills are required to become the forensic accountant. So forensic accountant will be divided, accounting will be divided into four types of the offices. Number one, serious fraud investigation office. Number two, central bureau of investigation. Number three, central vigilance commission, so that it may detect the different kinds of the fraud. And for detecting these kinds of the fraud, there must be a professional degree, a degree from the ICAI. Different kinds of the audits will be checked, and most important thing is that these audits will be conducted to know the transactions which had been held. So there must be a kind of whistleblower which had been given the responsibility to the society. This is the responsibility of each and every person of the society or employee of the company. If any kind of the scam is going to happen, then they may raise their voice. So there must be end of red tapism, and this person is called by the whistleblower. Sometimes these kinds of the scams are being informed by the whistleblower. Sometimes these are being displayed with the different syndromes of organization, institute, or the owner of the organization, or the stakeholders can also inform to the specific serial fraud investigation officer, or to CBI or the RBI if it is related to bank. So this forensic accounting is performed by a very skillful person. And this is the responsibility of forensic accounting, to investigate and inspect the matter. And whenever these matters are specifically inspected, I told you skillful persons are required, expert opinions are required. They may check all kinds of the financial analysts with the different kinds of the skills, and they will write down that what was the previous auditor's report, is what is the current reporter's reports. They may call for any kind of the data or the information. They can ask any query from any person of the department. It is their right to know about the fraud. Next type of the accounting, it is the social accounting. Whenever we are talking about the social accounting means benefit which is being provided by the organization to the society. These are being provided by opening the schools, hospital, by specifically cleaning the sea, the river. It means the kind of social benefit which is being provided to the society by the employer, by the organization or institute of the company, and without charging a single penny, or by a very lenient prices. These are being charged, and these are being offered to the employees of company. These are being offered to the society. There are different kinds of the social accounting. Either this is related to the whole nation. I told you, whenever the different natural resources, just like a Yamuna river or Ganga river or different seas are going to be cleaned, then what is done? The society is being served at the level of nation. Social auditing, and the most important thing is that I told you that corporate social responsibility is most important. Now it has become a mandatory part of all the listed company. So listed company has complied it or not, or they have written only in the documents. It will be audited, it will be checked. Next most important thing is that it is mandatory for all the profit organization that these organizations have to conduct the social accounting, so that whatever the amount which they have spent on the society, it will be recorded in a specific register or by making a specific account, and then it will be checked have they processed it in reality or not. Managerial social accounting, and which kind of the management skills have been provided. It is not essential as a person, it is essential for the sake of management skills also. So they are being offering their services by studying the people, by providing the medical assistance to the people. Financial and managerial social accounting, specifically NPO, lots of clubs are there, lots of trusts are here, which are running for the purpose of the social aids. So different kinds of the purpose, either these are the education, either this is the midday meal, this is the kind of medical facility, or a road construction, which or you can say different kinds of the um, public toilets which are being prepared by the organization. This is also a part of the social cost. And so what are the expenses which have been incurred by them? It will be checked. And if they are getting the revenue for the sake of enhancing their reputation, so this is the social account. Now we come to the next most important part. In the recent trend, we are talking about the new technology. Whenever we are talking about the new technology, then there are different kinds of the feature. Number one, automation. All the new technologies, on the one hand, we are using the calculator, and on the other hand, we are using the calculations manually. So lots of difference. The calculator will save over time. So it means whenever we are using the Excel, we are using the specific accounting software, these are using the time. And most important thing is that accuracy. The accounting system will give us the result which is more reliable than the manual accounting. And the data which is given in the accounting software, it is very portable. It can be sent some other to the stakeholders very easily through mail or through any other via, but it can be transferred and securely, and it is very confidential, and data cannot be hacked by using the different accounting software. And whenever we are talking about different or traditional accounting, all the traditional accounting was based on the manual accounting. There was a warehouse in which the registers were kept by the organization or the management. Sometimes there may be a short circuit and it had been burnt in the fire. So all the accounts had been destroyed. But now, whenever we are keeping all these things in a pen drive, through email, either whatever the natural calamities had been happened, whatever the abnormal circumstances had been happened, or anything had been happened to the specific area. But if anything is on the email, then it is secured. Nothing will be harmed to the data which is served as an accounting. This type of accounting is called by the clever accounting. Next most important thing is the cost effective, because no register, no maintenance of the paper, nothing has been used. And the most important thing is that whenever we are involved in the manual accounting, our the team of people were involved in it. First of all, there was the original book of accounting, say the bookkeeping was created, journal entry, then ledger, then trial balance, then other financial statement, then cash flow statement, then fund flow statement. Lots of work is required, and there was a huge long team of the people who are working. And if there will be a mistake or misappropriation, it is too tough to catch the accountable person. But whenever we are talking about recent trends in the accounting, which is being processed through the software, it is very cost effective, because there is a need of very skillful people who are very well aware about running the software. Digital technology, 2 or 3 people can work for the 10 to 20 people in a team, and the data is portable, data is secure, data is confidential, so it is cost effective. Next most important thing is that what is going to happen to the status of the company, what is the present scenario, what will be tomorrow. It is visible, it is visible to everyone, either the people are related to or associated with the commerce or finance background or don't. Still, they can understand the scenario of the company. They can easily understand, because the data is kept in a different format of the report, which will be used by the auditors very easily also. And most important thing is that the speed is very fast, because accounts are prepared with the help of technology, accounts are prepared with the help of software, and the data are stored in the cloud. So capacity of keeping the data is very huge, as well as the speed is very faster. Reliable, because the calculations are not being made by the person, because with the manual accounting, lots of chances may happen for the mistake. But with the help of machines, with the help of software, with the help of specific application tool, the data will not inaccurate. So reliability on data will increase. Scalable, yes, obviously. It is very easy to scale the data, to measure the data, because it can transfer from one place to another software. And for example, if accounting is being made on the ERP9, then it is too easy to transfer it to the TelePrime, and TelePrime will give the result in the pictorial representation, which can be easily readable at any corner of the world. It has been made, it has been assessed specifically either in any other corner. So it is scalable very easily. Next, virtual storage of documents. There is no need of paper. There is no need of the money to spend on the stationery. No chances of pilferage. No chances that the document will be stolen. So there will be a virtual platform in which whole data will be stored. So it will be cost effective, because there is no need of warehouse to keep it. There is only one laptop or a desktop which is required, in which a data of many years can be stored very easily, and which can be accessed conveniently. Elimination of bureaucracy, yes, whenever the virtual platform will be used. So information related to purchase, sale, return, taxes, parties, just like debtors, creditors, it will be conveniently given, and the data will not be concentrated in one hand. So what is going to happen in the company, it is visible to the stakeholder, external stakeholders of the company. Virtual calendars and task management, either we are talking about Excel, Even it is a very easiest tool to keep the accounting records, to maintain the accounting. It will give the virtual calendar at which date the specific purchase or the sale has been happened, what was the cost of it, what was the total income and expenditure, the ledger has been created, then what is the total amount which is to be paid by the company or to the company, on which date this transaction has been made, and what will be the specific date of meeting, what will be the agenda, what is MOM. It can be kept in a one calendar very easily. So with the help of it, either on the one hand there is a data, on the other hand there is an appointment, there is a scheduling of the task. It can be assessed very easily with the help of the software. There are lots of tools which may give the facility of making a payment of the taxes. So this is the online tool for the taxes. What is the financial statement of the company? What is the profit of the company saying if the company is involving any CSR, or the company is making payment to the debenture holder, or after making the payment of the interest, what is the total money which has been kept in the hand of the company? It is easily accessible on which the tax will be paid. And the tax format is given automatically. It can be downloaded and the tax will be paid online. So there is no need to go anywhere, and whatever the information has been given, it is very confidential. It cannot be hacked. Most important thing is that either we are talking about the organization, we are talking about the institute, the most important thing is the customer. If the customers are here, the profits are here. If there will be no customer, no demand, no consumption, no production, nothing will happen. So it is most important to reach to the customer. If we will reach to the customer directly without any middleman, then the company can reduce the gap. This gap makes a loophole. This gap is the reason of different kinds of the companies which is coming backward due to its strategy, due to the lack of management skill. So it is better for the company that it may reach to its customer directly. Now the software is giving this access to the company without any middleman, without any wrong information. Company may directly reach to the customer, and company can collect the feedback, and feedback can be converted into the useful data which will be used for supply chain management, logistic, quality of the product, CSR of the company. So these kinds of a decision can be taken very easily and significantly with the help of it. Any question up till now? Okay. Not only for this reason, the most important reason for the new technology is the competition. Obviously, every time we are talking about different software, we are talking about different ways of reducing the cost. Hence, the competition is also one most important variable. Either we are talking about the rivalry action, but the most important thing is that cost must be minimum. Either by using the digital software, the company can reduce the cost, because there must be only skillful people to use this digital technology, and company can enhance.
Yes, ma'am, you are good.
Okay. We were discussing about the features of new technology. The most important thing is that whenever we are talking about features of the new technology, we have defined various features. Either we are talking about the speed, reliability, scalable. It is secured, confidential, and there is a virtual platform. There is a no need of any kind of the paper warehouse to collect all the papers, or there is no fear that all these things on the documents which we have created, it may burn or it may destroy. On the other hand, we are preparing the virtual calendars and the task management. Most important thing is that related to the task management, either it is related to the scheduling of appointment, or different kinds of the schedule related to the meeting agenda, which can be created very easily on different kinds of the software. And most important thing is that the tax in the financial statement, the most important thing is the tax which is related to the accounting. Whatever the profit which has been earned by the company after making a payment of the interest after the CSR. For all these things, it is essential that the profit must be made on the remaining data. So there are different kinds of the software which are based on the cloud, which are based on the privilege, which is specifically given with the tax which will be paid online, and this information will be freely available to the stakeholders. And the most important thing which I told you, that it was the connection to the customer. It is most important to organization to reduce the gap, because if there will be the gap, the company may not capable to eradicate all the shortcomings, either related to the logistics, supply chain management. So they may get the feedback from the customer, so which kind of the quality they have to improve, which kind of the designing, which kind of the packaging is required, what is most important required for the response of rivals. It is a technology which is being provided by the different tools or the software. That is from my side for the recent trends in the accounting. If you have any query, you can ask me.
Students, you can put your queries in chat box. The session was really insightful and informative. So I congratulate Dr. Bakshi for delivering such a wonderful session for our students. Any query from any student, you can put it in the chat box. Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Bakshi, for taking out time from your busy schedule and addressing our students on such a important topic on accounting and use of various softwares to make the accounting principles more easy and accessible. So on behalf of Amity College of Commerce and Finance, I would like to thank you for delivering this wonderful session to our students.
Thank you, Renuka ma'am. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am, for devoting your precious time for conductance of this session. Renuka ma'am, it was a wonderful session. You have talked about in detail about types of accounting, recent trends of accounting, green finance, forensic accounting. These topics are very much important for today's scenario. And all the students are required to know while they are the students of accounting and finance, they must know, they must be aware about all these concepts. So really very useful session. Thank you, Renuka ma'am, once again. And thank you to the logistics team. We faced some interruption today because of the Wi-Fi is not properly connected in the campus since morning. So many thanks to our students also who have been patient listener from last 12 days. So I request logistic team to please end the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Pallavi.